Hi everyone, welcome to Lipstick on a Rig. Today we're going to be making this beanie as part of our 100 beanie challenge. For this project, I'm going to be using size 4 medium weight acrylic yarn, and this is just the Big Twist Value brand. I'm also going to be using a size F or 5 crochet hook. And if you haven't already, then please check out the precursor to this video, and that is my How to Crochet a Beanie Brim. So for this brim, I crocheted 18 stitches deep and roughly 16 inches wide. And then I just joined the two edges together like I show you how to do in that video. And so from here, we're just gonna fold this brim up in half like this. And for this next part, I just went ahead and sectioned off my brim into 4 equal parts using scrap yarn, but you could always use stitch markers as well. So from here, what we're going to do is we're going to place a slip stitch on this corresponding edge right here to kind of start to join these two edges together. But we're going to yarn over with our next color like this. And then from here, we're going to chain 3. So from here, what we're going to do is we're going to place 20 double crochets in each of our 4 sections here so that we have a total of 80 double crochets. And this chain 3 counts as your first double crochet stitch. And since we don't have any traditional stitches, you're just going to have to crochet into the available loops along the edge here. And just make sure that you're grabbing both sides of your edge of your brim here to connect them together as you're placing your double crochet stitches. So go ahead and place your 80 double crochet stitches along the edge of your brim here. And once you have your 80 double crochets in place, it should look like this. So from here, we're just going to place a slip stitch in the top of our chain 3 stitch here. And then we're going to place one front post stitch around every stitch in our row. So in case you're unfamiliar with how to place that, I'm going to show you. Alright, so go ahead and yarn over and then insert your crochet hook from the front around to the back and then back around to the front around this post here. Then yarn over and pull through the post. Yarn over and drop 2 loops, and then yarn over and drop 2 more. So just go ahead and repeat that process for every stitch in your row. And when you get to the end of your row, you're just going to want to place a slip stitch in the top of your first stitch. And then we're going to repeat that last row again. And when you get to the end of your row, what you're going to want to do is place a slip stitch in the top of your first stitch, but we're going to yarn over with our other color here. And from here, we're going to chain 3, and then we're going to place 1 double crochet in each stitch in our row. And when you get to the end of your row, you're just going to want to place a slip stitch in the top of your chain 3 stitch here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to place 1 back post stitch in each stitch in our row. So in case you're unfamiliar with how to place a back post stitch, what you're going to want to do is yarn over and then insert your crochet hook from the back, around the front, and then back around to the back again. Then yarn over and drop your post, yarn over and drop 2 loops, and then yarn over and drop the last 2 loops. So you're just going to repeat that process for every stitch in this row. And when you get to the end of your row, you're just going to want to place a slip stitch in the top of your first stitch again. And then you're going to repeat that last row, placing 1 back post stitch in each stitch in your row. And when you get to the end of your row, you're just going to want to place a slip stitch in the top of your first stitch, just like before. And so from here, what we're going to do is we're going to place single crochet stitches around our back posts. So for that, what you're going to do is just insert your crochet hook around the post, yarn over and pull through the post, and then yarn over and drop 2 loops. And you're just going to want to repeat that process for every stitch in your row. And when you get to the end of your row, you're going to place a slip stitch in the top of your first stitch, and you're just going to yarn over with your next color. And then from here, what we're going to do is we're going to repeat this cycle. So we're going to chain 3, and then we're going to place 1 double crochet in each stitch in our row. Then we're going to place 2 rows of front post stitches. And after you've repeated this tan section again, then make sure you've switched over to your pink color again. And we're going to start decreasing while keeping the integrity of this pattern. So to get started, we're going to chain 3. So for this pattern, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and place 5 more double crochet stitches so that we have a total of 6 stitches including this chain 3. So once you have your 6 double crochets in place, when you include that chain 3 stitch, then what we're going to do is we're going to double crochet the 7th and the 8th stitch together. So what you're going to do is yarn over and then insert your crochet hook up underneath that 7th stitch and then yarn over and pull through. Then up underneath that 8th stitch and yarn over and pull through. Then you're going to yarn over and drop 3 loops and then yarn over and drop 2 loops. And that's going to be your pattern for the entire row. So you're going to place 1 double crochet in your next 6 stitches and then you're going to double crochet together stitch 7 and stitch 8. So go ahead and repeat that going all the way around your row, and when you get done you should have 70 stitches. And when you get to the end of your row, you're just going to place a slip stitch in the top of your chain 3 stitch. So we're going to go ahead and place 1 back post stitch in our next 5 stitches, and then we're going to crochet stitch 6 and stitch 7 together. So go ahead and place your 5 back post stitches. So once you have your 5 back post stitches in place, go ahead and yarn over and then insert your crochet hook up around that next post. So that's going to be your 6th stitch. Then yarn over and pull through that post. Then insert your crochet hook up underneath that 7th post and yarn over and pull through that post. Then you're going to just yarn over and drop 3 loops and yarn over and drop 2 loops. And that's how you're going to crochet 2 post stitches together. So go ahead and follow that pattern going all the way around your row, placing 5 back post stitches, and then you're going to crochet the 6th and the 7th post together. And when you get to the end of your row, you are just going to place a slip stitch in the top of your first stitch. And the pattern for this row is going to be to place 1 back post stitch in your first 4 stitches, and then you're going to crochet your 5th and your 6th post together. And the pattern for this row is going to be to place 1 back post stitch in your first 4 stitches, and then you're going to crochet the 5th and the 6th stitch together. And you're just going to follow that pattern going all the way around your row, and when you get done, you should have 50 stitches. And again, when you get to the end of your row, you're just going to place a slip stitch in the top of that first stitch. And then from here, we're going to be placing our single crochets in the back post just like we did before. So you're going to want to place 1 single crochet in the back post of your first 3 stitches. And once you have your single crochets in place, then all you're going to do is follow the same steps for decreasing that you normally would. You're just not going to yarn over first. So just place your crochet hook around that first post and yarn over and pull through. Then insert your crochet hook around the next post and yarn over and pull through. Then you're just going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. So go ahead and follow that pattern going all the way around your row, placing 1 single crochet in the back post of your first 3 stitches, and then you're going to single crochet stitch 4 and stitch 5 together in the back post. And go ahead and follow that going all the way around your row, and when you get done, you should have 40 stitches. And when you get to the end of your row, you're just going to place a slip stitch in the top of that first stitch and yarn over with your next color. And from here, we're going to chain 3. And so the pattern for this row is going to be to place 1 double crochet in your first 2 stitches and then to double crochet together stitch 3 and stitch 4. And you're just going to want to repeat that going all the way around your row, and when you get done, you should have 30 stitches. And this chain 3 does count as your first double crochet. And when you get to the end of your row, you're just going to place a slip stitch in the top of your chain 3 stitch here. And the pattern for the next row is going to be to place 1 front post stitch in your first stitch, and then we're going to crochet stitch 2 and stitch 3 together. So to do that, go ahead and yarn over and then insert your crochet hook around that second post and then yarn over and pull through. Then insert your crochet hook around the third post and yarn over and pull through. Then yarn over and pull through 3 loops and yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So go ahead and follow that pattern going all the way around your row, placing 1 front post stitch in the first stitch and then crocheting the second and the third post stitch together. And when you get to the end of your row, you should have 20 stitches. And when you get to the end of your row, go ahead and slip stitch into the top of your first stitch. And then all we're going to do is crochet 2 posts together going all the way around our row. And we're going to keep doing that until this gets to be a really small hole. And once this hole is really small, then go ahead and place a slip stitch on an opposite loop on the opposite edge of that hole to close any gaps there. From here, we're going to cut and tie off our yarn. And if you turn your beanie inside out, then I like to just go ahead and tie all of these loose tails to each other. And in the description, I will link to my pom-pom maker. Please let me know in the comments below if you experienced any issues while you were making this, and I will do my best to help you out. If this video helped you, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel, Lipstick on a Rig. Thank you so much for working with me, and I hope you have a wonderful, awesome day.